export it, then they import the heavy one, and they give countries that know what to do with
the refineries in the US. The deal that the older ones were created to deal with this heavy crude. That's what they were built for. Okay? And it is necessary for the industry.
Yes.
Ni muhimu. So, wasituambie, can we have an audit of our minerals, please? Wa Kenya. Minerals ambazo kunazo Kenya ni hizi, and they're worth this. So that when we talk of an infrastructure fund, when we talk of a sovereign fund, we know that the proceeds from these natural resources will be going into that what? Fund.
And this is the interesting part.
Yes.
About this whole mineral conversation. I haven't seen our CS for mining. This one, that is Joho, the one before him, and the one before that one.
Did you even know the one before that?
Nope.
Joho happens to be known. So if you're
because
you know Joho.
Joho is a political celebrity.
He is known.
Yeah.
Okay?
I've never seen anyone from the mining ministry on an interview anywhere, whether kwa gazeti, TV or radio.
Not a squeak.
Not even on a podcast.
Mvurya was once one such minister. The one before that, I honestly don't know. So why are they so silent? And why do we have a ministry of mining?
Something is up in that ministry, if you ask me. I have seen Avali Murkomen anaongeanga kila siku. Sometimes you don't agree with what he says, but at least we see CS Murkomen.
Look, Murkomen is just trying to do his best.
Exactly.
You may not agree with him. You may not like the things he does.
But he's engaging.
That is what he is doing. He's trying to do what he can do in the best way he can.
I have seen the ministers of agriculture doing whatever it is. Ministers in hata Muga yule ambaye ni yule engineer wa maji yule
anajaribu
jamaa anaongeanga kwanza kuhusu mambo ya ministry yake, not just politics.
Mining zip
awalai tena kuna shida hapo.
West ministries, agencies in supplier payment revealed. State departments, IBC, NLC can't pay 135 billion. Nairobi unable to settle 72% of its 83 billion pending bills. You know the unique thing about these pending bills is that money is always put aside to pay the pending bills. And we are told they're paid, and yet the pending bills exist.
Yes. So you wonder. You know, there's something about the budget you guys told me the other day that I didn't know about. That by the time a budget has been drawn up, by the time like the money is already there.
Yes. You can't have a budget if the money isn't there.
Aya. Tender pia, by the time city you're told deliver pencils to this office.
Iko kwa budget na pesa shako.
The money is already available to pay city what he has
That's why you even allow them to tender, because there's money to pay them.
So how we have pending bills after the work has been done is a mystery.
Bro, kuna ukora fulani which has gone on in the counties. You know me, nakufa na county. For a very simple reason. The rot that we speak of has to be segmented and devolved, and we must understand the harm being done to the citizenry start with the county. That's why we had devolution. So that these matters can be dealt with kwa ground.
To deal nazo mali zimeanzia. Na sasa ndio ground inatusumbua zaidi.
Mazio ground iko na shida.
I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Anyway, it is now 7 o'clock. We want to we want to get into the news with Winnie Maganga. Then after that, we want to get into this conversation about income and expense validation. But hey, have you done your tax returns? Because in the next hour, we are hosting David Busaule. He is the Manager Business Transformation Office at the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA. If you have any questions for him, you know where to find us at Radio Gen KE across all socials.
It's 7 o'clock.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen says more than 500 Kenyans were killed and 266 others wounded due to mob justice across the country through the course of last year alone. While presenting a report to the Parliament of Kenya on Wednesday, Murkomen said Kiambu had 58, Nairobi 55 and Kisumu 36 recorded the highest fatalities resulting from deadly mobs during the year. Counties with the fewest cases were Tana River, Marsabit, Taita Taveta, which recorded a single incident each, and Laikipia, which recorded 4 cases.
In Kilifi 18, in Kisii 18, in Migori 19, and in Nairobi 55 fatalities of mob injustice. Sorry, Kiambu was higher, 58. That points to a very serious issue, Madam Speaker, of rule of law. And people generally don't believe in the judicial system.
Polls will open this morning for voters in Isiolo South constituency and 3 wards in Kabras and Mbeere North as they elect new leaders. The Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission says all preparations have been finalized in Isiolo South as well as in Kabras West, Evurore and Muminji wards in Mbeere North. The Isiolo South parliamentary races features siblings battling to succeed their late father, MP Mohamed Tubi Bidu, who died last year.
We expect polling to be seamless with no incidences because we have talked with the candidates and they have promised we'll be talking with them and they have promised the elections is going to be free with no malpractice.
Meanwhile, the IBC has confirmed that voters will not access the voting booth with their phones. Here's IBC Commissioner Alutalala Mukhwana.
Wakenya wana mambo. The Constitution guarantees the secrecy of the ballot. That is why we have the booth. But unfortunately, in a recent by-election, some Kenyans were accessing the booth with their phones and then taking pictures of the ballot. That is a violation of the Constitution and the Elections Act. So what we have said is this, that at our own level, administratively, we'll have a way of ensuring that voters do not access the booth with their phones.
A young man has been sentenced to 40 years in prison for the manslaughter of his employer in Kabete, Dagoretti sub-county. Delivering the sentence, Kibera High Court Judge Diana Kavedza noted that although the accused saved the court's time by pleading guilty, the circumstances of the killing were particularly serious. The court heard that the convict killed his employer Miriam Wangari in 2021 and later dismembered her body. Her head and limbs have never been recovered.
Notwithstanding the aforesaid factors, the gravity of the offense, the gruesome mutilation of the deceased body, and the need for deterrence, the community protection, however, demands a very substantial custodial sentence. The sentence must reflect the court's condemnation of the conduct and affirm the sanctity of human life and dignity owed to the dead. In the result, the accused James Murithi Bukwa is hereby sentenced to 40 years imprisonment.
A key suspect in the Shakahola massacre has told the court he started doubting what was happening inside the forest when controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie claimed he was Jesus. Enos Amanya, also known as Alleluia, who has since turned state witness, was testifying before Mombasa Chief Magistrate Alex Ithuko. He told the court that he also worked as a security guard at the Shakahola camp. During cross-examination, Amanya was asked to explain the specific roles played by each of the accused persons in the Shakahola massacre.
Kuna wakati Mackenzie amesimama akasema ya kwamba mkiniangalia mimi mnaona nani? Katoa kofia akasema unaona nyewe, mnaniangalia mnaonaje? Mnaona nywele yangu nyeupe? Mimi ni nani? Akasema ni Yesu. Basi mimi mmesema vizuri, mimi ni Yesu kwa sababu Mackenzie alikufa tangu jadi. Ule mnayemuona saa hii ni Yesu.
And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation. In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generation's The People's Breakfast, curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights. Radio Generation.
A very good morning to you. Welcome back to Radio Generation. The time right now is 6.5 minutes past 7 o'clock. How are you doing? Kama kawaida, Cities in the studio with me. And we have our guest this morning. Like I told you, we are hosting KRA. And we are hosting specifically the Manager Business Transformation Office, David Busaule. David, good morning and Happy New Year.
Good morning.
Are you guys at KRA still saying Happy New Year, by the way?
Oh, yeah. I believe we say Happy New Year till Easter.
Yeah.
Personally.
Good stuff. So now there's Methali from this country called Zambia. City, if you don't mind, kindly, Ebu uliza Bwana David hapa what he thinks about.
I am actually going to task him a little more than that.
Okay.
There's a man who went to school. Do you know the capital of Zambia?
Lusaka.
Good. Okay. You clearly went to school and you paid. This guy took time to understand his geography. This country has some of the most delightful proverbs I've ever come across. They're simple and very easy to understand. If your luck doesn't desert you, sorry, it's the other way around. If your luck deserts you, even cold food burns.
If your luck deserts you, even cold food
burns.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
How would you interpret it? How would you apply it to everyday life?
See, that doesn't sound
Umesikia vile ameanza?
Here we go.
I look at it that in certain situations, if probably you lack something, it might just make even something which was ideally not supposed to be complicated and becomes complex for you. Yeah.
Very true.
Yes.
Kuna wahenga walisema siku ya nyani kufa miti yote uteleza. So it's actually similar to that. The day you are unlucky, even something that shouldn't burn you like cold food, utakula hivi utafanya. So you're very right. You're very right. You are let me just look at your title again. You are the Manager Business Transformation in KRA, or rather at KRA.
Yes,
what exactly is it that you do there?
As a Manager Business Transformation, my job is to ensure I support domestic taxes in their digital transformation.
Okay.
Ensuring our services are automated, they are simplified, they are engineered, and ensuring we are offering better service to our taxpayers through the technology platform.
All right. Yeah. KRA actually is fully automated nowadays. Kuna vitu mingi sana tulikuwa tunahave kukuja to your offices, regional offices and so on, but now we can do it from the comfort of our homes, whether it's on our phones, laptops and so on and so forth.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff.
Even including USSD.
Yes. By the way, there's USSD. Yeah. I usually, when I'm doing these things, invoicing clients nowadays.
You do it through USSD?
Yeah, 222. I think it says star 222 hash.
Yeah. Services.
Naenda pale kwa nini prompts ni nini natuma invoice, malipo yananifikia, nyinyi mnapata haki yenu.
Very good. I think we need we can have you as the ambassador for ATMs.
Looks like actually it is, once you understand
very simple,
what to do,
yes,
it is very simple.
Yeah.
Right.
I know it is simple because these fellows invited me to do something for them, and they said, before we pay you, you have to give us this invoice. I said, I can't just write one. You can't just write one.
Kuna ile ya serikali.
Yeah, so I was walked through it. The first, I didn't get it.
Actually, I found
at first.
Yes.
But when I woke up in the morning the following day, I wondered what was bothering me the day before. I think the problem was being within KRA.
You're in
within the environment of KRA, my brain, I think, was scrambled. But once I was out of it, it was so simple.
Yeah.
I marveled.
You know, it is one of the easiest ways nowadays because they've done this whole automation thing. It's one of the easiest ways to be tax compliant.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and when you've gone through that system, it actually makes even your return, your when you're filing your tax returns, it makes work very easy.
Yes.
Because now you do not have to start looking for an invoice in nani, kwa email. It's actually very simple now.
To fill, we provide the invoices to you, and you proceed with filing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm sure people usually have lots of questions for you, especially when you identify yourself as a KRA employee.
Yes.
Maswali na kwanga mingi, nyinyi ndio mnaiba pesa, lakini si nyinyi mnaiba pesa yetu, si ndio?
As we collect KRA, our mandate, I think the mandate of KRA at some point, Kenyans, they tend to not get it right, because KRA is a collector of tax revenue, or let's say exchequer revenue, and or certain select agency revenues.
Yeah.
Once we collect, it goes to the government. The person who now does the appropriation and spending, now it's Treasury, Parliament, and everyone else.
Every other government
But
entity.
I think an average Kenyan believes KRA is the richest organization. We hold all the money in our accounts, and we should be able to, because even the issue of refunds, they always think probably when they're delayed refunds is because we don't want to pay, but it's a whole funding issue.
Right. Once we are done with this interview, tukizima microphone, nitakuuliza hapo kwa refund.
I'll be glad to help. And now that you're a team's ambassador, I'll also try
even better.
Rudisha mkono kwa.
That is how you have people like him. But so help us understand what income and expense validation means in the realm of filing tax.
Okay. We've been allowing taxpayers in the past to come and file their returns. Then almost about 5 years ago, KRA started the journey of electronic tax invoicing. Of course, we started with VAT registered taxpayers. Then from around 2023, 2024, we now open it up to everyone that if you're in business, then you should be issuing electronic tax invoicing. So fast forward to now 2026, the commissioner is coming and saying, we have these legal provisions which say you must have issued an invoice, and I think both you and CT have issued one or two
yes,
here
we
there.
have. Yes.
And now when you come to file, the commission also now requires if you purchase or if you incur any expenses for your business, for you, I believe maybe you need to maybe you Ubered, you went somewhere maybe for a gig. So those expenses are incurred for the purposes of business. So certain expenses also the commissioner requires that they must be supported by an electronic tax invoice. Now with those two, now you realize you as a supplier or a seller, you should issue invoices to your customers. It's not a must to capture their PIN, because even the same me and you, when you go to a supermarket, we just go get our things, we go home. But in case you're buying for your business, of course you require to provide your PIN. So once you realize now we've come to the end of the year, you have issued some invoices. Other people have also issued you invoices for the services or the goods or services they have sold to you.
Yes.
Now the commissioner now comes to validate, because initially it was an open it was more of an open check. Someone will, let's say, will do invoices of 500,000 and they come to file a return. Probably they declare 50,000.
Okay.
But you realize there is visibility. But now with the enhanced visibility, now the commissioner is being more proactive. Instead of allowing you probably to file a return with information which may not be factual, and now come later to follow you around, raise assessments, backdate. KRA is now being proactive to simplify the process, make it easier for you to file, where we let you know what we have on your income.
Yes.
Also let you know what you have for your expenses. And again, even if you don't have records, we are giving you a place to start. Rather than even if you lost all your files, and at least there is some place to start and you can build it up. And now we validate now. So when you come file now, we'll tell you, move your city, you are declaring 200. I think we have 1 million on your account. So we expect you to declare, let's say, 1 million of the income.
Yes.
Again, for the expenses you've incurred within the economy from the different people you interact with, your suppliers, maybe you come and claim 500,000. There's like, no, I think what can be mapped to you through our e-teams, electronic tax invoices, maybe 300,000. So we notify you at that point of filing.
Okay.
But of course, we'll allow you to make certain adjustments where applicable, and of course, you provide supporting documentation.
Okay.
So that's the whole objective of the income and expense validation. We're just using the data we already have in KRA to ensure you are filing more accurate, more factual, more verifiable returns.
Yeah.
And also for us, is more of a tax-based expansion initiative because now Mbuvi, you'll be more keen when you're dealing with the suppliers. Like, hey, last year I had problems with my with my expense. We'll be telling them, are you going to issue an ETMC invoice? The conversation now probably start changing. You probably start dealing with people who are more compliant, who are more likely to issue an electronic tax invoice rather than the ones who will just and also your habits and your practices and your behavior kind of changes also a bit.
Yeah.
Because now you know what KRA is validating, what KRA is expecting you at the end of the year. So you kind of align your business to be more compliant.
David, why is this important?
It's important because from the two things, there is a compliance angle to it where it's more of, we want a more equitable fair tax system where everyone is paying their fair share of taxes. That's actually one of the working objective of the income and expense validation. That let everyone pay their fair share of taxes.
Yes.
Depending on your income. It's not 1 shilling more. We don't want to collect more than what we need, but we also want to collect a fair distribution of taxes from everyone within the economy. So the large, they pay more. The medium, they pay. The micro and small also, they pay their fair share. And again, secondly, this income and expense, the second objective is more, as I said, it will be driving tax-based expansion because CTA, when you are claiming, at some point, you will say, I was not issued with an invoice from Mbuvi. Yeah. You'll be required to declare Mbuvi because the commissioner will want to know who are these suppliers you are dealing with who are not on e-teams. So again, it's more of a two-pronged approach to enhancing compliance, fairness, and that on one side, but also again, we want to help your business better going forward. That these suppliers who are not compliant, KRA now will step in and ensure they are compliant, not just to you but to other customers. Yeah. And of course, now at the end of the day, we look at a very high level. I know we are not yet there, but you can see in the last few finance bills, KRA has been pushing for more access to information. So the whole idea is just to have a much better pre-filled return for you, like what other other tax administration have done. With that information, we can easily package it in a whole return, and you can just come and it becomes a very easier return for you, even for the people who are in business, because you have more of a 360 view of your transactions, which are relating to tax. Not all transactions, it's just the ones with a tax element.
There's something that always, well, it bothers my mind when I think of it. There is a certain group of individuals who earn a certain amount of money, below which we are told that they do not pay certain taxes, like the income tax. Okay? Yeah. Now, that I understand. But what then is the benefit of excluding this group? Because there must be some benefit. Any decision that is made regarding taxes, there is some logic behind it. And if they have that reduction, or if they have that deduction, why then does it not follow that others then who earn a little more than them, not exempted, but why don't they have a reduction in the taxes that they pay? I'm going to explain to you why I'm thinking this way. If I have more disposable income, I will spend more. And when I spend more, that's a sure way of KRA getting money, because everything that I buy has some value, tax, some money will go to the government, whether I like it or not, in one way or the other. So this indirect way of taxing, would it not be a better way of realizing money? Because KRA has done its research, it knows the habits of Kenyans, it knows the spending habits of Kenyans. If Kenyans have, if Kenyans have more money, they'll spend more. So if they spend more, it means KRA makes more. Okay, tell me. Is my thinking logical?
And maybe theoretically what you're saying is right, but is that actually what happens? The more money I have, the more money I spend, the more money KRA gets, or is it the more money KRA taxes from everyone, the more money KRA gets?
Okay, it's both. You can look at it from both a taxation point of view and an economics point of view. Of course, generally, the economic principle is if government spends more and people have more disposable income, there tends to be a correlation with increase in tax revenue. So that's just a basic economic principle. But again, now on the tax side, there are two things to it when you look at it. What KRA is actually one of the approaches we are looking at. We want to enhance our compliance towards consumption taxes because, and I think again across the world, best practice is more of taxing consumption than and less of probably taxing income. Yeah. So realize certain countries will go for taxing wealth, others will go for taxing consumption, others will go for taxing income.
Yeah.
Others will have a hybrid of all the three. Now, yes, it is one of the even currently the president where they are looking at exploring ways of reducing some of the payee rates, and of course the reason is when you have more disposable income, it increases consumption. Of course, it also increases standards of living. You become more healthier, you are more happier, and other things. But now, a direct relation to taxes, that probably then it's not probably a very one-to-one, and I'll explain probably. Yeah, someone might have an increased disposable income, but probably he doesn't really buy probably things with VAT. So you realize he's the one who buys guashe from the mboga
as opposed to bread.
As opposed to bread or supermarket. So you realize there'll be also be that. So it will not be directly that a disposable income will it will have a relation, but it will not be a one-to-one shilling that with every increase in disposable income. Others, maybe their disposable income, they decide to save rather than probably spend. Others will decide to reinvest. But yeah, for generally, yes, we look forward to having more disposable incomes. And the reason why the government is doing this again, part of the things we are currently doing is we are putting a bigger focus on tax-based expansion. When you have more people in the contributing to the taxes, it becomes easier even to have the conversation of reducing tax rates. And that's basically what you're working now in the medium term, that let's bring as many people, because now we are kind of almost having more people on the formal economy contributing a bigger share of taxes, yet we have a bigger informal sector contributing a smaller contribution of taxes, and that we want to change that. We want to change that because we want to bring maybe more than 10 million people in the informal sector to the tax bracket and pay a certain share of their fair taxes. Then now we can reduce the rates and also now, of course, ensure people are able to save, they're able to spend more, they're able to live a better life.
Yeah, CT.
What sort of work would you consider to be taxable? What? Oh, no, well, I'm actually asking, is there anything that is not taxable?
Most things are, you may realize most things are actually taxable. It's only that some things are taxable for VAT, and then now we separate now the obligations again. But like from an income tax perspective, quite a lot of activities which me and you do, they qualify for generating taxable income. Yeah.
Okay. So when I am filing my returns, are there things I am allowed not to declare, or must I declare everything? What qualifies to declare?
Serikali inataka kujua.
The way like for now that we're talking about income and expenses, you can declare your income. The return allows you to declare your income. It can be the global income, but certain aspects of those incomes probably they could be let's say exempt. I can give an example of let's say probably an organization which does maybe sell some things, but also maybe they receive a grant to do maybe something specific. So realize they've been given a grant to do a certain specific project, but also or let's even let's use this example. So you are getting advertising revenues and other incomes, but also maybe you partner with let's say a foundation, they give you a grant income to target maybe a specific radio program, maybe for, you realize it's very unique.
Maybe say something to do with GBV.
Yeah. So it becomes more of you have two sources of income.
Yes.
The normal business and grant. Of course, the grant now will not be taxable. You might declare all of it in the return, but also you need to remove the grant income before you go now to the calculation of the taxes.
Yeah.
So it is possible to have both taxable and exempt income from income tax, and also in the VAT return, of course, now we have zero rated, the VAT at 6. So there are different, but for quite a number of transactions, they lead to a taxable income.
Yeah.
The ones which are exempt, but it's more of organizations, maybe like government, like counties, like certain NGOs, certain pensions. So those ones now, the exemptions tend to be many at a personal, at an entity level, maybe due to the nature of how they have been formed, rather than probably at a transaction level.
But the way I would do my tax returns is not the same way Radio Generation will do its tax returns.
At a high level, it might be the same. It might be the same if you are, unless you are employed. If you are employed, of course, now it's different. If you are employed, even this year, we've now pre-filled your return further. It's now fully pre-filled with SHIF, with affordable housing levy, with your employment income from Radio Generation, with your pension, with your personal relief. Yeah, that's different.
Yes.
But now, Mbuvi, if you are let's say you are a consultant, for your consulting income, because you realize you might be employed, but also you have some, which I think most Kenyans have side hustles, but we need to see more of them in the returns,
right?
Because it seems like the employment income is always on one side, and the side hustle.
You declare the one which is less.
Mali, you're less likely to be caught.
Even less, not less likely to be caught. Less,
the less.
Actually, I hadn't thought of that. You have a criminal mind, you.
Look, I'm asking this for the benefit of the listener.
Him will deal with him. We'll handle his tax issues after the. Yeah, so the return is at a high level. The return for income is standard, and why I'm saying this is whether it's your Radio Generation, you're required to declare your income. Now, the sources of income will just be the one which is different. For you, maybe it will be some consultancy.
Right.
For others, it will be farming income. Others, it will be rental. For them, it could be both the income from the radio station and maybe even, let's say, maybe even they own these buildings. Right? They also have rental income.
Right.
So on the high level, the filing of returns is a bit standard, because you start with declaring your income, and also you are allowed to claim business expenses.
Okay.
So at that level, your return and Radio Generation on the aspect of the business side, it's almost standard.
Right. Yeah. Then you had actually mentioned this, but perhaps just to get deeper into it, why is this happening now? Is it something that, first of all, this whole expense validation, is it something that has recently just started happening, or is it something that has been introduced?
Thank you, Bovi. Yeah, we've been having some, it's good we put that in perspective, because I think we've been having some gaps in that. The Finance Act 2023 is one of the main legislative provisions which have given rise to this income and expense validation, because the Finance Act 2023 came up with more provisions around electronic tax invoicing. And of course, in addition to, because initially electronic tax invoicing was under the VAT Act, only affecting the VAT registered taxpayers. But now the Finance Act 2023 opened this scope and even moved the provisions of electronic tax invoicing to the Tax Procedures Act, meaning it's cutting across everyone. And also it enhanced the scope to include people who are not VAT registered. So that was a radical shift in that aspect of electronic tax. So it was no longer VAT registered only, it is everyone in business. Now another, again, and that one was effective from 1st January 2024. So the legal provision, it has been effective for almost the last 2 years.
Yes.
Then other amendments now came in, and the commissioner said, for all your business expenses you are going to claim, they must be supported by an electronic tax invoice. Again, that provision came in 1st January 2024. So you realize we've been having almost more of a 2-year period where KRA is trying to create awareness. We are also coming up with simplified solutions.
Yes.
very select to even different sectors, including even the USSD, which is mostly to target the micro and small taxpayers. Even solutions like the eTIMS fuel station, that one is purely for the petroleum sector.
Okay.
Yes, so when you go fuel, next time ask for the eTIMS receipt, because the moment they put back the nozzle, the receipt should be generated automatically.
Okay.
The back to the pump. Yeah. So yes, that is how so in the last 2 years we've been coming up with those unique solutions to meet certain unique needs, including even things like buyer initiated invoicing. Probably guys we were in the tea sector, the tea factory or the sacco can send prompts from the farmers, and if they accept the consent, then of course the invoice becomes a valid invoice. So all those are KRA in the last 2 years. We've been making our systems better, enhancing the performance, and now 2 years down the line, the commissioner felt it is not a perfect scenario. Let's not say it's perfect, but the commissioner believe we can now start this conversation of income and expense validation. So really it's coming actually 2 years since it was effective in the law. So yes, yeah, but now of course
you said it was like a grace period.
Yeah, it was more of a grace period for us to listen to feedback, tweak our systems, and just reach certain levels of electronic tax invoicing usage before we can move towards
the question I'm about to ask. It should be dealt with a different department, but since you're here, I'll ask it.
Okay,
tell us about how KRA has gone about letting people know about all these changes.
A lot. Okay. Generally in the last 2 years, and I think every day, especially even those ones who follow KRA on social media, I can say almost, I don't think 2 weeks go without a training on eTIMS. I think probably just that we just need to, as target maybe better and know now how we now reach the niche, the smaller groups, I think, because we do a lot of trainings. KRA, in this new structure, KRA has undergone an organizational restructuring. We formed a department called the micro and small taxpayers. Their main focus is to target the micro and small taxpayers, enhance awareness, learn their challenges, work with them, come up with solutions, including simpler tax regimes for them. So that department, their focus is purely on that. And they are now mandated more to drive trainings and awareness on filing, on eTIMS. So a lot of trainings actually KRA conducts. Mostly they are virtual, but we do a lot of trainings. Even today, if you get your pay obligation or your MRI, within a month, you'll be called for a training. To be let know that we've realized, seems like you're in MRI, we want you to know what monthly rental income is, the do's and don'ts, so that you don't get into non-compliance. So KRA is taking more of a proactive approach to create awareness. It may not probably feel it's sufficient, but we keep on we keep on working harder to ensure the awareness is out there. The information, we have a lot of information on our KRA YouTube channel, on different trainings done on all different obligations, on how to invoice. So there's quite a lot of information, and also quite a lot of very frequent sensitizations and trainings we've done. And even on this subject, we've done quite a lot of training since November, probably about maybe 10 to around 10 trainings for the public, and a lot even internally. So there are a lot of trainings both internally and
is there a county in which KRA is not represented?
And I'll speak to that. We certain we like Vihiga, but it's a smaller county. It's closer. We are not in all counties, but we're in majority of counties. But I think counties like Vihiga, we don't have a KRA station. I believe also for certain counties in the north, we might have a custom station, but not a domestic tax station. So again, there is quite so there are some counties, and of course, again, different aspects. And even if we are in some counties, we might be